How you guys doing? This is BG Dino, and I am the Terradome Soldier. Welcome to my movie review and show. Today's movie review is going to be on the movie Evil Dead Burns. But first, let's watch this trailer. I'm going to show you the good trailer. Alright, good seeing you guys. Let's go, and let's have fun. See you.
My grandfather believed the dead would return. If anyone read from the Book of the Dead,
my sweet boy is looking down on us from above.
from above, he's down below.
The whole family reunited.
Cheers to your perfect family. We found you. Only in theaters, July 10th.
Evil Dead Burns, produced by Sam Raimi. This is the 6th installment of the franchise, and it runs approximately an hour and 53 minutes long. Let's get into it. Now, if you notice, I have a couple of items with me before we get started. Now, before you go see this movie, there's a couple of instructions you need. Well, it's a little bit of equipment, a couple of items you need. So first, you need a bag. It can be a McDonald's bag, Burger King bag, don't matter. Just a small bag that you can carry personally, fold up in your pocket. And also what you're gonna need is some salt. Okay, let me give you an explanation of what I mean. So when they read from the book of Necro, you know, them 4 words they always say when the demons come, this is when the salt come in handy. You take this salt, you pour some in your hand, and you throw that shit behind your back. I'm not kidding you. Every time I hear somebody read from them books, that Book of the Dead or any Evil Dead movie, you know, I always make sure I carry some salt to throw this behind my back. That's just FYI. Now, what the bag is for, this movie has a lot of disgusting scenes. And I've seen several people run out the movie theater holding their mouth. This is no joke. So instead of you missing the movie, running out to run to the bathroom holding your mouth, you just fold this bag up and put it in your pocket. So you got it. So now you know what to have. So you gotta have your salt and you gotta have your bag. Okay, but with that, let's get started. Now I'm not gonna tell you this movie step by step because it's kind of hard. But I'm gonna tell you some very important scenes, and I may jump all over the place, but I'm gonna wrap it up at the end like I always do. So the movie begins where you hear this older guy. You can tell he's some kind of explorer like Indiana Jones or something like that. And he's explaining about the Book of the Dead, the Necro. In case you guys never heard of Evil Dead, it usually starts off with this book that's supposed to be made from human skin. And it's supposed to bring back all these things called the Deadites. The Deadites are the zombies pretty much of this movie, the monsters of the movie. This for the people that don't know anything about Evil Dead. Give me a break, guys. Give them a break, guys. Some people don't know about Evil Dead. I'm just letting them know what the monsters are called. They call Deadites, and it usually comes from this book called the Book of the Dead. Alright, now we all caught up. Now we all together. Let's continue on. Now, like I said, we started off where the guy, he's pretty much an explorer like Indiana Jones, and he's explaining about this particular dagger. That these Deadites, they pretty much hate the dagger because the dagger, if you get stabbed one of the Deadites with it, it'll pretty much knock the demon straight out of them and bring the person back. So they always been trying to find this particular family who actually holds this dagger, and they've been going through years and centuries and decades trying to find this dagger so they can completely rule the world. If they get the dagger, nothing can ever stop them. in this world of Evil Dead. With that being said, the very next scene, it shows two guys that's in a lake, they fishing or something like this, bonding, having fun in the lake. Then all of a sudden, one guy, he said, hey, I gotta run to the bathroom. You already know how horror movies is. Somebody gotta leave the scene, so something happened to the other one. So anyway, it was a young guy, they pulled up to the shore, he ran off inside the woods to go to the bathroom. Why do people go so deep in the woods to go to the bathroom in these horror movies? I guess it wouldn't be a horror movie if they didn't. So anyway, while one of the friends, he run off to use the restroom, the other guy, he's still out fishing, and he throws his rod. Next thing you know it, something heavy comes up, and he goes to rod it in, and it's a damn head. A head of a Deadite, which is one of the dead zombie slash thing, yeah. The head of a Deadite. So he's like, oh, he's freaking out. Then all of a sudden, all these fish rods just shoot from out the middle of the lake, like, and he's hitting him on his head and pulling his skin, and finally it pulls him into the water. After it like pulls everything off him. This is a very disgusting scene. This is a scene where you want to do this. So the buddy, he comes back and he's looking for the other guy. He think he's playing a joke on me. He's like, hey man, where you at? I know you was playing a joke, or what are you doing? So while he's looking, he actually see his buddy way out in the middle of the water. So he jumps on his little motorboat to go out there try to save his buddy. He goes out there, so rustle around in the water. You know, the guy, he leaps up, scares the hell out of everybody, leaps up, tell his friend, help me, help me. So he tries to help his friend. He ended up getting pulled back into the water. And then his friend finally grabbed him and pulled him out. And he landed like, oh, you safe, you safe. He not realizing his buddy is only in half. All his arms and his head, that's all he got. So then he started freaking out. And then his female, this Deadite female, her head sticks up from underwater. Now, before any of the attacks happened, before he went to the restroom, they were saying something about this particular lake. They were saying there was something haunted about this lake, but it didn't really get deep into it. We're gonna come back to that at the end. We're gonna talk about that at the end, about this particular lake. So anyway, this female Deadite, she lifted up from the water.
Who the fuck are you?
And she pretty much attacks the other buddy. And she knocks him off the boat. He tries to get away from her swimming. So, you know what she did? She turned the goddamn lake into some acid. She turned the lake into a bowl of acid. So it's over there boiling him, burning his skin off. This is a very, very extreme scene. You can go ahead and do this again. Yeah, because that scene was intense. So he finally gets away from her. He crawls up to the land, and like I said, he was in acid, so all his skin like burnt all up, his face all burnt up, and his hand is on the suit. So then you see the female Deadite, she walks out the water and she makes a sound. She's like, yeah, I finally got you. And we don't know what she's talking about at the moment. As she walked past the guy because he actually passed away on the sand after he crawled out the water. And then it shows a scene where she steps on his hand and all his skin and stuff starts coming off.
Hell no!
Oh yes, this is time for the bag, and it's time, not quite time for the salt, but you can probably use the bag on this scene right here. So then she walks into the middle of the street, and all of a sudden you see a fast car coming down the street like a Corvette or something at full speed, and it runs into her, and then the car flips over. Now it cuts back to 4 friends, so it's showing pretty much where the car came from, and this is what you see on the trailer. So it shoots back to this guy and his wife. They having an argument. He's with his brother and his brother's girlfriend, and him and his wife is having an argument. Actually, they're not having an argument. He's just treating her bad. He's been a really,
You really are an asshole.
yeah, that's what he's been. So he gets mad. He gets mad. He storms off, getting his Corvette and peels off. You know, he the one was just being mean and stuff like to his wife. So anyway, he takes off, calms himself being mad, and he's driving down the road. And then it shows him running into the woman that was in the lake. So all it did was show the woman. At first, it showed what happened, and then it showed from his point of view of what happened. So he was actually the grandson of the guy at the very beginning who was telling the story about the daggers and how his family had it. And you know, the Deadites, they want the dagger. So when that demon lady, the Deadite, she came out the lake and she said, I know I finally found you. She was talking about him. She already seen that he was gonna come down the road. So it was all one circle. So there's a lot of little stories in the middle of it, but it all gets silked up real fast. It tells you what's going on, and it clears it up for you right then and there. So you ain't gotta wait all the way to the end of the movie to understand something. It pretty much lets you know right there. So the guy, once he hit the lady, it shows deeper into the scene. So he's sitting in the car. He wasn't dead yet. He was just flipped over in the car, and he was trying to get through. And then the Deadite lady, she was all broken up. Her head was coming off, so she was like, "I finally got you," and she pretty much set the car on fire, burnt him to death, and blew up the car. And then it jumps, I think like a couple weeks, maybe about a week later, for the funeral of the guy who just got blown up in the car. You got his wife, the one he was fussing with. You got his brother, which was there, and his brother's girlfriend, which was there when he first left. And this is where you get to what you see in the trailer. You see all the people at the family table, and they talking all kinds of craziness. Well, actually, they had a little small funeral first, which was very weird. It's like his whole family was.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, that's how she felt like she was surrounded by. And then, then it don't get no better than that. So then finally, they get to this family house that I think the brother was living at. It was a family house, and this house looks disgusting. I mean,
That's just nasty.
it's like mold on it. The house just it's like a rotten house. And they just seemed like they were just at home with it. So when they finally got there, it was the grandmother, which she was suffering from Alzheimer's. You had the mother, and then you had the father of the guy who died in the accident. You have the brother, you have his girlfriend, and then you have the wife, which is the only person that's really the outsider, the wife and the girlfriend of the brother. Please don't get confused. I'm just telling you, I'm bringing you to the scene that's in the trailer. So you see the scene in the trailer when they asking him about why you not wearing your ring and stuff like that. This scene right here, I mean, man, that's like the quiet before the storm. I'm serious. No kidding, guys. Within the first 15-20 minutes, you had those two guys get brutally killed in the lake. You had this guy get burnt up in the car, and then this dinner scene right here. Oh my God. Please don't let me get in trouble. Please. I gotta tell you what happened. So they sit at the table talking trash. Oh no. Let me wind back. When they was at the funeral, the father actually went down to the crematorium because they was getting that son cremated because he was burnt so badly. So they decided to get him cremated. So the father, he asked the undertaker, can he come in there and have one last word with his son, even though he was in the box? And you know, this is Evil Dead. So while he's sitting there with the son, while he's dead, the son start punching through the coffin. And he's burnt up really bad. And the father sitting there, and the father just, he don't care. He's happy to see his son. So the son, then it blanks away. It shows you pretty much him and his father really, something happened. You don't know what happened because it blanked away. So then the undertaker came back, and he was like, are you done? And then you can hear the undertaker getting ripped apart. They don't show it. This is like the only one off-scene kill they show, where they have. So you can hear the undertaker getting ripped apart. Then we jump to the dinner. I'm sorry, guys. So this is how we got to the dinner, what you see on the trailer. So the father, he's already got some kind of possession with him. That's why he looks like that on the trailer. He looks crazy. Like now, the rest of the family are just straight up.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
And she looks just like she's surrounded by. So after they continue to talk trash, just like you see in the trailer, the exact scene you see in the trailer. Whew. It's hard for me to say what's going to happen next. Cause it's brutal. It's brutal what's going to happen next. So the dog kept on barking at the father. The father, he picks up a salad fork and he stabs the dog to death with a damn fork. He stabbed the dog to death with a fork. Please do not punish me for saying this. He killed the dog with a fork. It was a brutal scene. He took that fork. He stabbed that poor doggy up. Killed the dog with a damn fork. I should have knew I was in for something when I first seen when that guy, she stepped on that guy's hand, his skin came off. I should have knew I was in for something. This movie right here is no joke. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you everything step by step, but I am going to tell you the movie. So anyway, after that, everybody in the house, they started fighting the father and pretty much trying to sedate him because he started going crazy. So the other brother, he got some kind of way to restrain his father and put him inside the car to drive him because when he was stabbing the dog, they was trying to restrain him and he ended up getting stuck in his neck or something. So they wanted to hurt him, try to take him to the hospital. They got him in the car. And this the other scene you see when you see the girl finger get slammed in the door. So So the father, he starts to attack both of them in the car, the son and the son girlfriend. He gets to the point, he took the most harmless thing inside of a vehicle and made it into a weapon. Not no seatbelt. You can see a seatbelt as a weapon. Somebody, you know, grab a seatbelt, they turn to Bruce Lee with it. You know, but this ain't what happened. This dude took the headrest of the damn car. See, you know, the car, the little headrest you can slide up and down. He took it off and turned that into a weapon. He stabbed this girl between her neck and her head with this daggone thing. That was the brutal scene. Some kind of way the son got away after he killed his girlfriend with the thing like that. The son, he ends up running off. He gets back to the house. He's breathing on him. Trying to tell his moms what happened. And then by the time he got to tell his moms what happened, his girlfriend, of course, she's a Deadite now. She's one of the dead zombie things. So she come knocking on the door. The trailer you see, the girl you see go pick up the candle and she like go get a candle and pour it on herself. Oh, that's refreshing. Woman, you got no fingers. You still got a car seat inside your head, and you just poured it out your head. You think they're impressed about you drinking some wax off a candle? By that time, you already like, what the? You were already freaked out before you even do nothing like that. But it still was entertaining nevertheless. Now the grandmother, she had one leg. The grandma, and like I said, she was something from all time. Now she was hilarious. She had a lot of funny scenes in this movie. Like when the girl came back and she had, like I said, she had the car seat stuck in her head. She drunk the wax. The grandmother like, you stole my money. Are you coming back here to give back my money? You know, grandma, she don't know what's going on, but she has one of them things on the side of the steps. You know, back in the day, used to have it where people can go up the steps, they sit on it, and it takes them all the way upstairs. You know, you seen one like on Gremlins. So it was one scene. So pretty much, like I said, she came back, and there's a bunch of fight scenes. This movie had a lot of fight scenes. I mean, this movie was awesome as far as the fight scenes. They had one fight scene where the father, he was attacking the son, which is the guy who died brother, which is the father's son, and he was trying to get the sword for him because the son, he was doing research that the grandfather was doing about the dagger. I'm sorry, not sword, dagger. So the Deadites already know who to attack. So they wouldn't kill him, but they just was attacking him, trying to hurt him real bad and make him tell. And while this happening, the wife, she's the protagonist of the movie. So I'm just gonna jump straight to that. With protagonist pretty much mean gonna be the good hero of the movie. So while they attacking the son, trying to get things like that, this went on for like maybe about 20 minutes. As far as the mom, she wasn't a Deadite, but she was sympathetic to the Deadites. She tried to help them out because she hated the daughter of the Lord that much. And the family was just a bunch of... Yeah.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yes, she most definitely was surrounded by them through this entire movie. So for me to jump a long part, this scene was brutal, man. I mean, how they killed the girl, the one who poured the wax on her, they ended up throwing her in the basement. They threw her in the basement. She fell on her steps and she did some kind of twist thing like she's doing Olympics or something. I don't know what's going on. But this movie, man, keeps you at the edge of your seat. This movie is great, man. This movie, everything you can think of inside of a horror movie is in this movie. This movie pulls no punches. Besides that one off-screen kill, you don't see no more off-screen kills. Not even that scene when I tell you what happened with the dog. You seen that. Man, I appreciate that with these horror movies lately. They be showing what they gonna show. If you're gonna put it on that, show it. Go ahead and show it. I mean, it makes the movie that much better to me. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to tell you about every single Deadite that got killed. Pretty much, all of them eventually turned to Deadites except for the wife. She ended up having to fight all of them off at the end. You already know pretty much an Evil Dead movie. And this stuck to the lore of Evil Dead. Even to the point, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about the part where I told you to make sure you got the soul. Now the Necrocron wasn't on the book in this movie, you know, which is the Book of the Dead. This book right here. This wasn't in the movie. But the grandfather that was doing the research, the guy who does all the exploring, he had notes from Necron. You don't actually have to have a book. If you say certain words, it'll bring the demon there. But this particular time, the demon was already there. So anyway, she was reading the words that he said don't say, like they do in every movie. This is before all hell broke loose. And she read 3 of the words, and she's about to say the 4th one. Now I'll tell you, anytime you watch an Evil Dead movie and they start reading those 4 words, you already feel like, I mean, I'm not even kidding you guys. I'm in the movie theater. I'm actually putting my fingers in my ear so I couldn't hear it, and I still can hear it just as clear. I was like, man, am I tripping? Or did they make this get louder? I think they know people do that when they read those words from out that Necro book. I think they know people gonna put their fingers in there and they actually turn it up louder on that part. Cause I kid you not, I put both my fingers in my ear and I still heard it clear as day. So that's why I said you need this soap. So you take this soap that I got right here and you throw that behind your back. I don't care if you're superstitious or not. Do it anyway. You don't want nothing to come home with you. Do it because BG asked you to do it. Don't bring none of that Evil Dead stuff home. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, I'm not kidding about the salt for me though. I threw some salt behind my back. Now jump back to where we was at. Like I said, she pretty much had to fight off everyone that eventually turned to a Deadite. She had to fight them off. And when she killed the very last one, which was the father, she ended up getting on top of the roof or something like that. You seen the trailer where they was running after her on the roof. They was just chasing her because she was just running away from them, trying to get away from them. And she eventually killed the mother. She turned to one. She killed the father. She killed the brother. The grandmother, she just disappeared. You ain't see nothing about her no more. And I was like, hold up. I was wondering, what happened to the grandmother? So you get to the scene. She's at the bottom of the house. She's trying to leave to get away from the house and everything and let the house burn down. I guess that's why it's called Evil Dead Burn, because the house ended up getting burnt down. And the main person, which was her husband, the one who died, he got burnt up. So he shows up at the very end while the house is burning up, standing there like he a Terminator or something, walking towards her and, telling her, because she actually has the dagger. She actually has the dagger. He was trying to get the dagger from her, and she ended up stabbing him with it. And before she stabbed him with it, when she stabbed him, like I said, when the dagger, if you stab him with that particular dagger, they start to turn back human again. So she was able to see him human again, and it came clear that he used to abuse her really bad. And times that she was pregnant, he did all kinds of mean things to her, like hitting her and cutting her and stuff like that. So when she did that, she was reminiscing about everything that happened to her, and she looked at him while he was doing it, and she pretty much like,
Fuck you
and die, and she killed him. And then pretty much after that, all the ambulance and fire trucks come, like on any movie, typical horror movie. Fire truck, ambulance come, and the movie pretty much goes off. Now, don't leave when the movie goes off, because there is an Easter egg after credit scene. So it goes up for maybe about a couple of strips of names. Then it shows the grandmother. The grandmother sliding down the street. Remember I told you she had no legs, so she's sliding down the street. She's a Deadite, and somebody's happening to be driving, a female, and she see an old lady in the room, and she go check on her, and she like, are you alright? What happened to your legs? And then the old lady, she grabs the leg, and she said, well, I see some new legs now, pretty much referring that she's gonna rip the legs off the girl and use her legs. I ain't know Deadites can do that, but I guess they can for this, but sirs. Now, this movie was wild. I mean, it was a good roller coaster ride. And I have to give my apologies, because I thought this movie was going to be terrible. If you watch my trailer review, I gave it bull crap because I thought it was going to be something else. But I appreciate when a trailer throws me off like that. This trailer completely threw me off. I thought this movie was going to be something totally different. I thought it was going to be some kind of copy off Pet Sematary or something like that. It really wasn't. This really was his own movie. It really did stand aside from the rest of them. I really did appreciate it. What's my immediate reaction? And my rating is going to be a 3.3 out of 5.5 Pterodon soldiers. A 3.3 out of 5.5 Pterodon soldiers. I left a lot of stuff out because I want to leave it up to your imagination. I actually will say, guys, go see this in the theater. I enjoyed it in the theater. I really did. I can't say that you're going to get the same enjoyment if you watch it at home, but you may have. I'll wait till it come out when I can watch it on home, and maybe I'll do a second review on it. But as of right now, I think the theater is the best spot to go watch this movie at, because like I said, from all the little jump scares and all the kills, there was a lot of kills and a lot of fighting scenes. I mean, tons of fighting scenes, tons of kills. Pretty much anything you want in a good date night horror movie. Yes, this is most definitely a date night movie. Most definitely. This is a great date night movie. Great date night horror movie. And it won't put you to sleep, like some of these horror movies out now, they put you to sleep because they're so boring and you gotta be a detective to try to figure out what's going on and stuff like that. Nah, this movie pretty much lets you know what's going on, and the things that it don't seal, it seals right then and let you know why they did it and why it happened. I can respect this movie. So like I said, guys, a 3.3 out of 5.5 Pterodome soldiers. That's what I give this movie. Thank you guys, really appreciate you guys. Shout out to the entire Pterodome family. Also stay tuned because I may have a major announcement. The Pterodome may be merging with a different show to do a live. Okay, don't get scared now, don't worry. Trust me, the Pterodome is still gonna be here. They're still gonna be here. But I'm talking about additional to the Pterodome, BG may be joining another show where we're gonna merge together and we're gonna do our movie reviews on movies that don't get so popular attention. Movies that's like a little bit, you know, cheap, low budget movies. I'm gonna call it low budget or D-rated movies. So we're working out little negotiations with that right now. So stay tuned. BG Dino got something coming up. Thank you guys. Like I said once again, this is BG Dino, the Pterodome Soldier. Salute. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. My numbers are steady going up. I really appreciate you guys. You guys you really have no idea how much I really love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Guys, please be safe. It's BG Dino once again. And I'll see you guys on my next review. And stay tuned. I'll keep you informed about the new show. Thank you. Bye. Let's leave off with my intro soundtrack. Let's go. Let's start.